this week. We're talking about Wonder Woman 1984. And if the pre show gives any context, this is not going to have any good takes at all. Today I have with me Ryan, as usual, my co host.
Hello, hello.
How's it going, buddy?
I was doing better before I had to watch this movie.
Oh, God, that hurts. I also have a newcomer, Holland. How's it going, Holland?
Going great. I'm excited and also kind of
Oh, no.
anxious to talk about this one.
Okay, all right. That doesn't sound good at all. We have Tessa as well. Tessa, how's it going?
It's going okay.
Okay,
And nothing too crazy.
all right.
Not bad. Not great.
Okay, I'll take it. It's better than nothing. And we also have Mario Rivera coming back. How's it going, Mario?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me back.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Anytime you want to come back, you.
We talked about the boys last time. Okay.
Yes, we were talking about the boys. All right. So let's just go around the room, give our initial thoughts on this movie, whether we liked it, whether we didn't like it, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all I got. Ryan, let's start with you.
Did I like Wonder Woman 1984? The resounding answer is no. If it wasn't for me saving Soul to watch after this would have ruined Christmas.
Oh my
That's how
God.
bad this movie is.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Holland, what did you think of Wonder Woman 1984?
I am. God, I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan. Okay, like I had the Underoos when I was 3 years old. Like, huge fan, and I felt let down and sort of betrayed
Oh man.
by this movie. By the
Okay.
way she was betrayed, portrayed in this, and it hurt. And I agree with Ryan that I'm glad we had Soul to watch after, because I'm glad that we had the end credit scene.
Yeah. That end credit scene was
that
pretty
kind of
great.
gave me a little bit of a lift, but
Okay. All right. God, I should have checked with everyone first before I asked you guys to come on. But that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. Tessa, initial thoughts.
So I kept saying this last night, and I stand by it. I'm not angry. I'm not mad at the film. I'm just extremely disappointed.
Oh, that's
I give it like a 4 out of 10.
somehow
and honestly,
sorry to cut you
I
off.
love Wonder Woman, but and I'll explain this later, but that end credit scene just kind of, pardon my language, pissed me off a little bit. It felt kind of like fan gratification, like, oh hey, don't forget, look who's here. Like, and it was like, no, that's not going to distract me from what you just gave me. Like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know what you just gave me, and I don't like it. That's all I know.
Oh God. Okay.
4 out of 10. And that's coming from me, Ruben. I find stuff to like about every movie. And
This is
you
true.
do that.
You like The Dark Knight, and I just don't know how.
Wait, what did you just say?
What did you, Ruben? Ruben, you okay, buddy?
I will say that again. She liked The Dark Knight, and I don't know how.
She's not
But
the
we're
crazy
not
one.
talking. We're not talking
She-
about The Dark Knight here. We're talking about Wonder
How
Woman
am I let on this
1984.
podcast and not know about that? Okay.
Listen. It's the
He
truth.
means Dark Knight Rises. He does not.
Oh
mean
no,
The
I'm
Dark
sorry.
Knight.
My apologies. Dark Knight Rises.
Jesus, how do you leave
I
with
am
that?
so sorry. I am so sorry.
that was
I agree with you.
concerning.
For that
Yeah,
one,
I'm
I
sorry.
want that for just my personal use.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find a way to clip that out for YouTube because I will get destroyed.
Twitch, baby.
Mario, what were your thoughts on Wonder Woman 1984?
I think 1984 is a great year. We have a lot of great movies that came out in 1984. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Gremlins, Nightmare on Elm Street came out in 1984. Real good stuff. This is not that. There are moments that I think are pretty solid, but overall, it's just a meandering mess that doesn't coherently come together. and I'm okay. I like Twin Peaks. Things don't have to come coherently, but at the same time, for your Wonder Woman movie, I just think that there was no focus, and it just was just too much of its own self. And honestly, this movie did not need to be 2 hours and 50 minutes. As much as I enjoy long movies, I'll watch the Lord of the Rings ones, but this one just did not welcome its running time as well as the premise.
So you're telling me you would rather watch little hobbits walk around? I'm sorry, I don't know what.
I'm sorry. What is that tone you just took?
Yeah,
about
can you-
Lord
There's
of
no
the
tone. There's the
Really?
okay.
Yeah, what's
There's no
up?
tone.
Telling
All
you
I'm
you'd rather
asking,
watch little hobbits walk
God.
around.
This is
Really
the
a
sound
lot,
of mutiny
Ruben.
right here.
I am just saying, you would rather watch hobbits for how long is each movie? 3 hours?
First of all, this
Close
movie's
to.
not just hobbits. There's orcs. There's elves. There's
No, I
dwarves,
know, but it's is it the
rangers.
main?
Aragorn.
Oh no, I'm thinking of
Nazgûl.
the hobbits actually. Right.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
don't. I fall asleep during those ones for some reason. I love Lord
Okay.
of the Rings. I just can't watch the Hobbits.
I would watch
Okay.
The Hobbit before I watch Wonder Woman.
I probably would try the Hobbit again.
You're crazy. All right.
I'm also a huge Tolkien nerd, so
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Well, my thoughts on this movie, while it wasn't the greatest movie I've ever seen, it is definitely still better than Suicide Squad. And I'll take that to the
I mean,
bank.
Yeah, but there's not that much high of a margin. But yeah, I agree with you. Like,
I think-
we'll say that. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'll just say that yes, there is a margin to hit with, and it's only because within the last decade with DC movies
Mhm.
that they just needed to hit a certain amount, and if you cross that threshold, then you got me. And then it doesn't have to be that the character has to be completely accurate, but if you just hit a certain threshold of the spirit of the character, then I think you do it. In a lot of ways, I do find the movie hits that in certain aspects, but there's so many other things that bring it down as a wide hole of like what you could do for a comic book movie, especially a Wonder Woman film, where I feel like we only have two of them in existence. I just feel like we could have spent so much more time refining and giving more care, but that's just me.
Listen.
But yeah, it's better than Suicide Squad. You're right.
Yeah. At least give it that, guys. Am I wrong? Is this movie not better than
wrong.
Suicide Squad?
I'm gonna argue against that.
Oh my God. Are you
You're
serious?
wrong. Suicide Squad is better. At least Suicide Squad had a somewhat more coherent plot line to follow.
Probably had
and
80s music in it.
Yeah, like I
Oh,
I
it
understand the
did.
stakes a
It
little more in
did.
Suicide Squad than Wonder Woman. I have a whole list of things to talk about, Ruben. I do not
Oh.
like this movie.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
So
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
go ahead, Ryan.
Listen,
let's.
I'll even say before you get to Ryan, I will even say this. I like this more than Batman vs Superman, but it's still not good enough.
All right, that's it. I'm kicking you out of this. Don't
Sorry.
disrespect Batman versus Superman. All right, let's not get too crazy. That's the best DC movie we've ever gotten.
Again, you said the Dark Knight in this.
Again, my
Continue.
apologies. My apologies. I meant you know what I meant.
Continue.
You know what I meant. Ryan, go ahead.
Okay, so it's Suicide Squad. At least was fun to watch in moments. There is no fun part of this movie. This movie, Suicide Squad, for as bad as the plot is in that movie, I understand it. It flows well. It's not a jumbled mess of random plot points that get pulled together and apart at will. Like, the only waste in freaking Suicide Squad is the Joker, and that's it.
No, let me rephrase. The only waste in Suicide Squad was the whole movie. All right? That movie didn't need to come into existence. That movie was pointless.
Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, it was utterly pointless.
And you're
This
telling
movie-
me...
You can argue
There's
that most
something
DC
though-
movies are pointless.
I don't know about that.
So I have an argument here where I'd rather watch a movie that has 0 point and nothing at all happening in it than a movie that was so hyped like this one. And after we were on a bad roll with DC then. We just came off the tails of Batman v Superman. And yes,
Great movie.
it's a fun movie, but we all got to agree it's
Great
not
movie.
a great movie.
It's a great movie.
We went from freaking Man of Steel,
The
to
worst movie
Batman
I've
v
ever seen.
Superman, to Suicide Squad. This was not a good run, And then Wonder Woman happens and Aquaman, and those are good movies. Those are good, fun movies. And then, like, okay, Wonder Woman 2, this is going to be great. 1984.
Hey, first of all, put some
Some
love on
80s.
Shazam. Put some love on Shazam. Shazam's pretty great.
Oh,
It's a great
I
Christmas-
completely forgot about Shazam's fantastic. No,
yeah,
Shazam's
it's a great
fun.
Christmas movie. Just saying.
It is a good Christmas movie. I forgot it was in Seven Christmas.
Yeah.
But we get through those, and then we get to this, and it's just a disappointment in every way, shape of the word. There is nothing here. Nothing. The main villain's bad, and what they did to Cheetah is unforgivable. It's one of the biggest wastes of a character I've ever seen. It's up there. She's right next to Killer Croc in wasted character potential.
Wow. Well, Killer Croc was necessary for that one specific part of the movie.
You're right. You're right. Thank
Going
God
underwater.
he could swim.
Yeah, going underwater.
Cheetah does have a purpose in this, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
I personally want to hear this list. This list of things. Like, I think I'm interested in that list.
What list?
Yeah. I'll test
the
it.
list
Test
I
it. Throw up the
mentioned?
list. Yeah.
Okay, so is it okay if I start on that list?
Go right ahead.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm really upset that in a female written film, a female directed film, there is the questioning of who exactly is Diana with in that moment, because Steve is not in Steve's body. So that's just a little weird to me. I don't
it's
like it.
So
Dude,
many
If that
it's
was
super
if that
weird.
was a flip situation, they would be roasted alive for that, and they should be, because that's terrible. I'm sorry, I don't like it. Why can't he just come back
In his own body.
and be in his own body? Don't make it creepy. Like
They
they
made it super
even they
creepy.
and like the fact that they did it and then acknowledged that it's weird after the fact.
We'll
I'm
go
like,
through
you
his shit.
knew it was weird going in then, so why did you do it?
I only see Steve.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so also I do love Wonder Woman a bunch, and one of the things I remember growing up with is Wonder Woman versus Cheetah. And Cheetah has this amazing backstory. It's super interesting. Getting cut by the Amazonian dagger, getting possessed by the spirit of the huntress, or however you want to phrase it. They could have done so much with that. They could have made a film dedicated to just Cheetah, introducing Cheetah, exploring their friendship and exploring what happens when that friendship tears apart, and then suddenly you realize things aren't what you thought they were. And they could have had this very nice, focused plot without Maxwell Lord in the background doing whatever he's doing, granting wishes. I'm really sad that they robbed Cheetah of that origin story, or literally any other origin story she could have had. But, and like, I know things change and that's fine, but it robs the character. And also, you don't get to see her character very much. So she is this amazing, smart, very talented, driven person, and you don't see that. You don't, and they sell her short. On top of that, I personally am so tired of being given these women-led films where you are made to believe you're going to get one thing and you get something else entirely. Women don't need men to be successful. Women don't need men to be their driving point. Women don't need men to push them forward to do great things. Women can do great things by themselves. They can be driven by themselves. They can have their own thoughts, desires, without having a male point of view to influence that. I'm really tired of seeing that. Really, really tired of seeing that. And like in the first one, it was fine because her relationship with Steve was kind of like a backseat plot.
Yeah.
She was her own drive, like she was the source of her own drive. She was the one who was pushing herself, and it just so happened along the way she met Steve and fell in love with. That's fine. I'm not saying that it can't have that romantic plot line. That's fine. Don't like, don't flip it though and make it all about this romantic plot line and oh yeah, don't forget she's Wonder Woman, cool, whatever. You know, you could have done this whole thing where they show her struggle with her loss of powers more. You see it for 5 minutes. That's it. And honestly, like, I was watching it with Eric and we were like, oh, okay, she got shot. Now, you know, like, we're watching it. It wasn't until the truck scene, whenever they're like, you know, she's visibly struggling. You're like, oh, okay, so she's losing her powers. Cool. Um, they could have shown that better. They could have shown her struggle with that better. Like, if you're gonna go that way, go that way. Um, Overall, they tried to do too much, and in trying to do too much, they did absolutely nothing. Like, literally, there is no character growth. She's literally in the same exact spot at the end where she was in the beginning.
She can fly now.
Okay, cool.
Because
she
a
can
man taught her to
now.
fly.
Because a man taught. Yeah, thank you.
I'm literally
Yeah.
just pointing out the difference. Okay.
And
I'm also pointing
that's-
out why it's bad.
Yeah, and that's literally like all it is. And I feel robbed of a great story or what could have been a great story. And you know what? I was really amped going in. I'm like, this isn't going to be as bad as everyone's saying it is because they did this amazing female empowerment Amazon scene in the beginning. And you're like, oh my God, this is going to be great. They're hitting that message right out the gate. I love it. I'm about it. And then it's literally just so she can repeat those lines back at the end. Like, that's why
Yes.
they did it. That's
It's
like,
a great
and,
scene.
you know, like,
It doesn't need to be in the movie.
they could have done so much. And I'm sorry, but pardon my language. Wonder Woman's a badass. She can fight battles. I'm really kind of tired of the whole I'm going to fight you with words. Because that's kind of what happened in the first one too. They
Unfortunately.
focused more on this like weird monologue while she was fighting instead of, hey, look, she's kicking his ass. She's going for it. Okay, cool. Because I mean, I think we can all agree, Wonder Woman, the first film, isn't as great in the third act as it could have been either,
No.
and that's fine.
And to be fair, Patty Jenkins did say that WB was the one that changed it. Like, that wasn't the original.
And then she
And-
gave us Wonder Woman 84, so Patty Jenkins.
Now, hold on. I have a theory here.
Good.
Whoa.
Good.
My question to you is, before this movie came out, I think it was before this movie came out, there was an article that Patty Jenkins had stated, I don't remember where the article is from, but Patty Jenkins has stated that she was paid less than a male director to do Wonder Woman, and for the sequel, she was still paid less than a male director to do a sequel movie. So my
Okay.
question to you is Patty Jenkins just pissed off?
Well, that would be a really dumb way to go about it because
Yeah,
if she
no.
is just pissed off, making a subpar film isn't going to exactly prove her point.
And I don't think they
Also-
set out to make a subpar film. I just think that in the process of everything, it was
Yeah,
it just came
and
out the way that it ended up being.
I'm not trying to hate on Patty Jenkins. I think it's great, but you know, comparing Wonder Woman 84 to Wonder Woman in Justice League, where she ripped apart how they treated Wonder Woman in Justice League because they turned her into a motherly figure.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I read it, but it was like a whole interview with her, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, they really disservice Wonder Woman in Justice League. They just turned her into a mother figure," which you know I kind of get.
Yeah.
You can't say how a film disservices a character and then make a whole film dedicated to this character and do the same exact thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I'm sorry.
No,
just
go ahead.
interject me. I'm talking so much.
No, keep going.
This
There
is
are
good.
parts where I was really into the film. Don't get me wrong. There were parts where I was like, okay, maybe they're starting to like change it up a little bit. And I would get so taken out of it I'm sorry. I know the studio has enough money to give us better scenes and better editing than the CGI mess that was her swooping in to pick up the children off the road because
Oh,
it
yeah.
looked like it literally looked like a superhero film made in the 80s.
Yeah.
Not to
And
mention
I
dropping the
don't
kids.
think that's the kind of 80s feel that people were looking for.
We
And
also got
I'm
to talk about some other stuff in that scene too that's really messed up, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
I really though like I'm also just upset because like I said, I feel like films like this, big huge films like this that are done poorly give those ignorant people on the internet a voice that say women-led superhero films shouldn't be a thing because women can't carry these films because it always turns into some like hot mess or like some kind of silly like oh, but I love him like and it really upsets me that they can't just get it right. It's not difficult, and I feel like they did so well with the first one to just kind of backtrack.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And God, do I hate how they disservice Cheetah. Which, you know what, Kristen Wiig was actually not my least favorite thing about the film. I thought
No.
with what she had, she did a damn good job. I was like, look
She
at you,
did.
Kristen Wiig. I'm about
Yeah.
it.
She
was
did.
probably if I had to pick something that I liked the most about it, it would probably be her. I, I'm I'm just I oh, and also when they acted like she just straight up murdered Cheetah, I looked at Eric and I was like, just turn it off. I'm done.
Oh my
I'm done.
god.
I am literally done.
But she's still alive.
Oh no, but I'm just so disappointed with this film. Like I have never felt such little of anything after finishing a film.
Oh my god.
I just felt a little empty. And it
Okay.
was
Yeah.
a weird feeling because I'm not used to that. Because, like I said, you know me. Like I find something to like about everything. Sure, I hated Leon live action in that Resident Evil film, but you know what? It was fun to watch. Like if you're gonna give me a trash
Those are
film, give me
dumb
something
guilty pleasures.
to watch. Like
Oh yeah.
yeah, I would totally watch her rappel down the side of a prison multiple times over and shooting everything in the face before I sit there and subject myself to Wonder Woman 84 again.
Oh
Also,
man.
unfortunately, Steve was also one of the best parts of that film,
He was,
but
wasn't he?
wasn't even
Parachute pants? You're telling
wasn't
me everybody
even
parachutes?
needed. Like I feel like they pulled him in because Chris Pine is a wonderful, charismatic person, and he does do pretty good jobs in just about anything he's in. And, like he's very personable. People like him. So I get it. Like you're trying to pull him in, but it was so unneeded. But that could also be because, like I said, once again, it was like, oh, well, I'm not going to do this because this boy is here. Like, I just, and yeah, there was just no character growth. There was nothing. There was no point to this movie. Literally nothing happened between point A and point B except suddenly she can fly. Good job.
I'll tell you something that happened. And I saw this on Twitter and I got real emotional. Somebody pointed out that Bruce Wayne had probably wished for his parents back and got them back for a couple of hours only just to see them disappear again.
But why? Did he would have to wish them to die again?
No, he would have to
No,
wish
they
them. He would have to
destroyed
renounce his wish.
He would have to. He have to renounce his wish. Why would he do that?
See, and that's
I
my
mean,
thing.
because
He wasn't
when
forced.
they-
That's the problem with the movie is that nobody is forced
yeah,
to renounce their wish.
No.
This is why
But-
people. Go ahead.
I don't. That's the thing too. Like the whole thing was like destroy Maxwell because that destroys a stone and undoes it.
Yes.
And I think that's why I was also mad because instead of like having her come to that conclusion that she has to destroy a human being, like DC is dark. DC can afford to get dark. That's what people expect from DC. Sure, it doesn't always go. how
Now,
people
see,
want.
I don't agree with.
But I'm saying though, if Wonder Woman destroyed Maxwell and that's what undid all the wishes and returned everything to how it was supposed to be, I would have rathered see that.
honestly, I
I
think that
preferred-
would have been.
Literally,
like
the
the-
final battle is making someone renounce their wish.
Oh, it was so
Like-
annoying. That was the worst
No,
part of
I-
the movie.
So I will defend the ending because that's the only thing I think that's semi redeemable about the movie. and that's semi-redeemable with the character of Maxwell, the one that we got in the movie. The Maxwell Lord that we have is not even the one in the comic book whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
Though it is a Latino father whose whole ambition is just to be the best, and his neglect to his son, even though he definitely cares about his son, that is the only crux that I could get into the film that I enjoyed, and the fact that I like Pedro Pascal in the film, not just because he's Baby Yoda's dad, but also because I felt that the resolution of him having to realize what he's doing and how it's affecting his son, the only thing that he cares about, I preferred that, and the fact that he and the way that Diana is not going to fight this specific person. The big heavy in the movie is Cheetah. That's the whole point, is to have her fight Cheetah while we have the Brain character, which of course is the Maxwell Lord character, do the thing.
Right.
So for him to combat his stuff of the greed, and what I guess this whole thing is, that's why it's set in the 80s, is because of how much it was a decade of excess and greed and stuff like that. There's a whole point of the movie is so that way everyone can realize what they're doing, what is the cost of what they're wishing for, and then for them to have to renounce it. Like the fact that they're, by the way, one of the many lists of terrible things that are also in this movie is the abject racism in multiple places.
Oh yeah.
Including the UK Irish thing, when she wishes that lady to die. That is a very big racist thing that happened in the 80s.
Yep.
There's of course the Mayan character, which is played by a South Asian person.
Oh yeah.
There's that. And the King of Crude, that stuff. Everything that happens in Egypt is also fucking fundamentally bad.
Yeah.
Not to mention fucking Gal Gadot rescuing those kids is also iffy, given her history, and her history with that whole thing is really fucking fucked up. That's all in this movie, and it does not need to be. Which we can add to the list of a million terrible things. But yeah, ultimately, I would say that the ending, that section, is the only thing for me that I worked in the through line that I followed through. But it's not a Maxwell Lord movie. It is a Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that this fight. By the way, why is the cheetah fight at night? Every goddamn CG fight always happens at night. It drives me crazy.
Well, you know why.
I know why they did it, and it's stupid.
It hides errors better.
Yeah.
God, if fucking cats can make cat suits better.
So you actually proved one of my argument, though. Like, this movie could have been done without Maxwell Lord, because it is about Cheetah, and it is about Wonder Woman and Cheetah. Like,
it's not about Cheetah, though.
No, I'm saying
that's the
that,
problem.
Like, the final fight and like the final crux is about, like, it's meant to be about her battling her. Like, you don't see them become friends. They have a weird early dinner, and then she punches a pervy dude, and that's about all their character development and interaction is, until it's like, oh no, Barbara, what happened to you? What did you do to yourself? Like,
well, I guess the plot was the thing she was losing was her humanity. So that's part of it.
Yeah, but still, they were trying to give us too many movies in one movie.
Yeah.
Like, give us a movie where she's against Cheetah. Give us a movie where she's against Maxwell Lord.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I 1000% agree with you. And they had to throw in some more God stuff, which doesn't have any relevance to the movie other than to give us our MacGuffin, which is the Wish Stone.
Yeah, I also thought that I also thought that they were going to introduce a god at the end, and he's like the one pulling the strings, like they did in the first one. But like, it was just a throwaway line. Like, it was pointless.
Like, oh, it just so happened to be tied to your Greek history. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
By the way, my also big problem was, as much as I love the first scene, I think the first scene's fantastic. I wish that we had the whole movie there now. I don't give a shit about the rest of the movie. That first scene's actually really, really good.
Oh, in the mall?
It adds no. Before the mall. Well, I'll talk to the mall too.
Okay.
But I have a problem with the mall now that I think about it, and it all goes back to the first movie. But let's talk about the first scene. The first scene's great. The way that it's that lesson about her semi-cheating to I thought that was great. I wish that had anything to do with the rest of the movie. It really doesn't. You really could have just threw that line at. She could have literally just told the story to Steve, and then didn't even have to show that whole fight.
Just watch the first 15 minutes of this movie and turn it off. You got everything you need from this movie.
100%. And then you get to the mall scene, right, which really should have been the real beginning of the movie. She struggles to fight 4 dudes.
Listen,
when we saw her in the previous movie.
Hey.
Fight everyone in No Man's Land.
Listen, one dude is holding a kid hostage. Okay, one dude is holding a kid hostage.
And then she bursts through a room full of were they Nazis? No, that's World War One. I don't. She burns in a room full of dudes and just beats the shit out of them. Like I
Still
personally thought
German.
that. How,
Yeah,
thank you.
still Germans. Yeah.
I will say though, I do like the scene only because it is very much like a 70s Wonder Woman kind of thing, or at least
Yep.
like the feel of it. That's where like
Yeah, it
the
feels like
flowiness of her fighting I was okay with. But the later on you get in the movies and how silly like the running looks like it's from Smallville.
Oh, it was so
Certain
bad.
points.
It looked like the Flash actually, and it was
Yeah.
really bad.
And I give credence to the
I'm
Flash.
not
I'm like,
about
Actually, I think
small
the running looks
years.
better in the Flash.
I do think the running does look better
It
in the
does.
Flash.
I think it does.
Every
1000%.
time I see Barry going like this, I'm like, just stop. Just you don't need to
There's
show
some
me
other
him
stuff-
running.
Barry
You don't
was
need to
doing
show me
that.
him running.
It looked like they just took like a cutout of Gal and literally like just
With the
fed her
arms.
across a stagnant background. No,
Yeah.
not even with the arms. Like I don't even remember seeing her arms move. It literally looked like a cutout being moved by hand across a stagnant background, and
Yeah,
that was
which-
it.
I guess they did it where like she's on a rug and she's running on the rug.
Yeah.
While
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
It is. But yeah, I think some of the stuff that they were going for would have been interesting in its own film. It's just it being this Wonder Woman movie film. And also set into 1984. Like I said, the only reason it's set in 1984 is to set up this idea of this a decade of
Age of
greed,
excess.
Age of
Age of
excess.
Excess.
Thank you so much.
The decade of
course.
decadence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just to
there
have,
you
like
go.
one have one measly fucking 80s song. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that was really weird that they
Ridiculous.
chose not to put an 80s song in at all.
Frankie versus Hollywood film, sure, whatever. But still, one couldn't put Blue Monday in the movie.
Okay.
Just saying.
I was really sad about the lack of the Wonder Woman theme in the movie. I literally got it for 6 seconds
Oh my
during the
God.
Yeah.
beginning of her fight with Cheetah, and that was it.
That was
all
it,
I got
yeah.
of it, and that was really
Oh, and
upsetting.
the-
That
oh
is an
my
amazing
God, that
scene.
The
What?
train,
They kept,
the
like-
truck scene too.
No, they teased it. They didn't actually play it. It was literally like
they
it
played the whole
sounded
thing.
like it was about to drop, and then it never dropped, and then it was just her making really awkward panting noises because she was struggling, and that's when you go, "Oh my God, she's struggling because she's losing her powers," and then you just go from there.
Okay.
Sorry,
That's
I
okay.
Really did not like this
That's
film.
okay. That's okay.
I'll
So,
stop talking now.
that's all right. Ryan, what were your
Yeah.
dilemmas with this movie?
That haven't been aired because a lot
Yeah,
of them haven't been
that,
taken.
that haven't been aired, yes.
Let me think here. Whew, we covered a lot. One of the ones that I think we really need to touch on some more is just that. Why is this movie 3 hours long?
Because they tried to do too much.
Listen, if the
It's
Zack Snyder
Spider-Man
cut,
3 situation.
if-
They tried to do too
that's
much.
that's literally what I thought it was. Spider-Man 3. Oh, as soon as I finished it, I was like, oh, they Spider-Man 3 this. And I still thought it was,
Oh my god,
good.
it does feel like Spider-Man 3.
yeah, absolutely.
I probably
But
I'd rather
Eric
watch
made a good
Spider-Man
point.
3.
I'd actually watch.
Spider-Man 3, you're invested in the Peter and
It's pizza
oh my
time.
God, I'm coming to a blank on his name.
Mary
like
Jane?
Harry.
James
Harry.
Franco?
You're,
Oh,
you're
Ja-
like
yeah,
more
Harry
invested in
Osborn.
Harry and Peter's relationship than you are in Barbara and Diana because it literally just got introduced. You really don't care about them, so you're just kind of there for a ride you didn't ask for.
Yeah.
So it just
Just
anyway.
what was the name of Pedro Pascal's character?
Maxwell Lord.
Maxwell Lord.
Maxwell Lord, thank you. Did he have a purpose in this movie?
Yes, it was
He
to
was-
turn.
he was the purpose of the movie.
It was to turn her into Cheetah.
Yes.
Guys, was
So,
that not the purpose
making a
of
wish-
Maxwell Lord? It was to turn her into Cheetah. Okay.
That I mean,
he is the rising force of why everything is going wrong in the film. I mean,
Yeah.
he is the bad
yes.
guy. I mean, as much
But
as we
Would
yeah, go ahead.
would this movie just have been better without him? And not
No.
a weird magical rock?
But how are you gonna get Cheetah?
No, the magical rock. I don't
You
know
can
why they.
literally have
Go
the
ahead.
same intro to the film and have Cheetah look at a dagger and try to identify where the dagger came from. Oops, sliced myself. I'm possessed by a spirit of the huntress. And oh, wow, now I'm Cheetah. Literally could have had the same beginning. You did not need him.
And I think I know where this film goes wrong, and is how much they're trying to match the scale of the last film. How the last film was all about World War One, the conflict with that, and how they're trying to apply it to humanity. And I think that's what they try to go with this route by having it be another world-ending kind of thing. That's why they were going this route. The cheetah thing, as much as it's about the dagger, it's still small stakes, right? I mean, unless she like gets nuclear nukes at the end of that movie, there's not much you can do with a world-ending thing, and I think that's why. I think that would work so much in the smallest story. So that's why Cheetah as a character, I think, will have to work in a film where it's a sub person. Like if it's like Injustice Society film where they're another part of it. I just in terms of a big movie like these, I don't know if it would work. Now, do I still want to see a smaller take? Like, what if Diana and Minerva went to the jungle and then they had to save the small little town? I would have loved that so much more. But as much as they were trying to just copy from the last one, that's pretty much why we got the movie that we got. Is because it had to be only big stakes.
You said something really important that I want to tie into. You said the first movie where they do that to make it feel human. This movie feels so unhuman. It feels so cardboard.
You're crazy.
It feels like
which is interesting because they're trying so hard to push this idea about love and about truth and humanity, and you feel so disconnected from that. Like,
yeah,
I love a love story as much as the next person, but I just was like, okay, I don't feel the love here. I feel like you're inhabiting some other dude's body.
Yeah, we haven't broke that down yet.
Oh my
broke that down.
Gosh, it's disturbing. And like they're having these moments and they take a detour into the fireworks and it's like, this dude is kind of ending the world right now. Like, y'all need to move it. Like, we can forget about the fireworks. Y'all have seen 4th of July.
That jet is going as fast as it can. Okay.
I will say that is one of the parts of the movie where I cried a little, and it's just because
I did too. But
I know, I understand what you're saying. The little boy in me was like, I remember Super Friends. Super Friends meant the world to me at the time, and to see the Invisible Jack work, I was like, oh my God.
It was so great. It was so great.
That was exciting. I will grant you that.
You're absolutely right. It's fucking stupid.
It's like I want to love it. And like, you know, I was sitting there with my partner watching it, and it's kind of like this lovey-dovey moment. And we like had this moment where like, oh, that's sweet. Okay, but y'all need to move. We don't have time.
But what are we going to Egypt anyways? You just go to his office and be like, hey, when's he coming back to America? Because he comes back to America like in a day or so. Like the time frame does not work in the movie.
But then she wouldn't have been there to save those kids.
The kids probably
wouldn't
have been there.
Saving.
Yeah.
No, the kids definitely would have been there.
Yeah.
No, the only reason why the kids are is because of Wonder Woman. They're the reason why they're going crazy on the highway.
No, those kids are playing soccer on the highway.
And they probably do that every day.
Exactly. They would have gotten hit.
Drivers are not worrying about Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I have to agree.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're
trying to run away from
You're right. I forgot.
Which, by the way, they just met this Mexican guy. They're like, I don't know this guy. Apparently, we're supposed to follow him.
It's his wish.
Why?
It's his wish. It's his wish.
You know?
It's the cost of the wish. That's what he valued the most. Which they waited too long to drop that caveat. So you're literally going, why the hell is he taking all this stuff from people? And they're like, cool, fun. Here.
Yeah, it was very vague about that, too. I was like, wait, what can you do?
I know people like complain a lot about exposition in movies because sometimes it's so ham-fisted and you're just like, oh, okay, you don't got to walk me through it. I get it. But this one, I could have done with some exposition more than just the Mayan guy saying, oh, we've somehow learned that this is how you stop the curse, because it obviously nothing worked for them.
Why couldn't
the Mayan culture collapse?
Why couldn't the Mayan guy just be Cheetah? She was doing all the work anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had like it was a dumb thing. But I was like, they couldn't even get like props right.
Yeah.
Which was something, it was so stupid. She's like, oh, item 23. And she opens it up. She's like, there it is. It's item number 24. I was like, put some work into this. It's even the little details you couldn't. Don't play with me.
I had
Also,
one quarrel in this movie, and
Just one?
yeah, just
Just
one,
one?
just one. Well, I had a couple, but this was the most that annoyed the shit out of me. Where they're all standing there, and Wonder Woman is like, okay, we either have to have everybody renounce their wish, or we have to kill Maxwell Lord, and nobody's paying attention to Barbara. She's walking out. She's like,
Straight Batman
she's
shit?
like, no, 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 I'm not doing this. I'm not a part of this. She's slowly walking out of the room, and then everybody's like, "Where's Barbara?" And I'm like, "What? Did you not just hear her say no?" Anyway, that's
No one's noticing the change at all.
No.
And I'm just like,
Yeah, how does
it
Diane
was
not
very
put
much
together?
she took off the glasses, guys.
I was gonna say they try to do that '80s movie trope of the nerd
It's-
into the prom queen, and it's like
so DC movies need to stop doing this because they did it 3 times. They did it with Selena Kyle in Batman Returns, where all of a sudden she's not wearing glasses, now she's hot. They did it with Poison Ivy, where she does the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And
hold
I'm
up. Give me a second. Let me
who
just.
else they
There we
did
go.
it with?
God.
Oh my
Right?
god.
Whoa!
Felicity
I have
Huffman.
superpowers now.
Oh my god, you have worth and value now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so
Exactly.
terrible. So fucking terrible.
Oh god.
Sorry, I need to be wordless again and invisible, and have
Okay,
sight.
that's don't go
God.
that far.
I mean, my
I
glasses
want you to see the
aren't
flaws
why,
in
or
this
why
movie.
I'm not showing my face, guys. I gotta be real honest.
God, I wish these movies would treat people with such more dignity.
Yeah.
Truly.
No, like even the freaking DC TV shows do that. That's my biggest gripe with
Yeah.
Arrow is Felicity is obviously like a total babe already, and then like it takes them a season or so to realize, oh damn, she's hot without them glasses though.
A season or two? No, that takes
I said
more
a
than a season.
I said
I was
season.
I was there season 1. I was into it. Glasses
Yeah,
and all.
like, yeah, exactly. Because she's hot. Like, I mean, like it.
You're right though. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh boy.
There is so much that they could done with so many of these characters. Like,
Eric,
I would even be okay with if Barbara, now that she's kind of had that power, she's like hungry for it still.
Yeah.
And I know they're not going to do this. Obviously, they're not going to do this. But if they made another movie where it was like she found another way, because she is like an archaeologist or something,
Yes.
at least
Well,
in the original.
Did she
comic
renounce her
books.
wish though?
She renounced her wish, it seemed. But I would be really interested if she wanted to find another way to have that power and like have the cheetah, because I know that there's in the comic books she goes to like the jungle and there's some kind of ritual happening and she gets that's Uzkartaga, I think is the name. It's a plant god or something, and that's how she becomes the cheetah in one of the versions.
Sure.
And I would love if Kristen Wiig went and like was out in the jungle. She'd been doing all this research and became obsessive the way Maxwell Lord was obsessive about finding the stone, and became cheetah and was like able to be cheetah longer, because it was just she was cheetah for what, like a few hours,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that just
I mean,
that's really disappointing.
one of the going theories that I've seen a lot is that maybe she actually does not renounce her wish or doesn't announce.
Yeah.
renounce it.
I don't think she renounced it at all.
The problem is that the film doesn't really
I like
illustrate that because they show her as a human form. But then again, is that something that she could transform into?
But she didn't
Does
wish
Dominic-
for that. I mean, technically
That's
she
right.
did.
Apex Predator, which her in reflection was to be a cheetah. I don't. It's whatever.
No, but
But that
technically
didn't happen
she
until
didn't wish
Maxwell
for that.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maxwell he was like, give her your rage and prowess, is
Yeah.
what he said. And then
Yeah.
that's when she became the cheetah. So yeah, I agree with you that it could
She
be
still
that
has
she
her. The humanity is
didn't-
probably lost.
probably.
Yeah. I
I would I would like that.
I wouldn't mind her returning, and then we actually flesh that character out a little bit more. And if it is that,
Exactly. That's what I want.
yeah, I would like that a lot actually. I'm just curious of how, like, what other world, like, if they're gonna keep going down this trend of like, what else world ending could possibly happen? Like, does fucking Wonder Woman end up in the Middle East, like, what is it, the Gulf War or whatever? I don't know.
The Gulf War.
Gulf War, yeah. So like, who knows? I'm just like, what? How else are they gonna fuck this up? That's what I really want to ask. How else can they make?
It's been announced Wonder Woman 3 is happening with Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot returning.
Of course.
And
I also don't want to put all the blame on her either. I do want to put some of the blame on Jeff Johns, because who also co-wrote the movie as well.
yes.
Yeah, for sure. But also, I just don't know. Going back to that plane scene though, Eric made a comment when we were watching it, and it actually made me laugh a little bit to think about it. Isn't it kind of dangerous to fly an aircraft through a ton of fireworks going off?
Super dangerous. You should not be flying through fireworks at all.
Steve Trevor does not know how to fly that thing. He only flew prop planes in the 20s.
Absolutely.
Like crank the freaking propeller up. Like what?
Yeah. Like, all right, dude.
He's like, oh, I got this. This high-tech jet. Oh. Again, the Cairo.
Oh boy, it was just
that you have a god or a goddess as your main character doesn't mean you have to give these world-ending stakes for a film.
I agree.
An hour and a half, hour and 45-minute film with a smaller
Shazam.
narrative,
Perfect.
with a more concise plot line, without all these crazy. Do it. It works. Yeah, Shazam was like the perfect proof of that.
Yeah, it told a very small, and granted, it's nowhere near what a Wonder Woman story should be. But if it was in terms of, she, the whole thing, and it goes all the way back to Batman versus Superman and the way that they were trying to branch out this universe, and they introduced her, and she apparently has a problem with humanity. So then we have to make a movie to tell us why she has a problem with humanity. But by the end, she's like, humanity's not all that bad.
But it took her love away.
But apparently then there's this middle movie, so apparently she gets mad after this movie. Like, again, it all gets more complicated and convoluted, and just like, how else are they going to continue down this damn road? When all I can't wait for this Flashpoint movie.
Yeah.
As much as it's probably also going to suck, if it could just be like, all right, everything's fresh again, and then everything that we know is all gone.
That's why they're making it. That has to be why they're making it.
I want it to be, because they are putting it
clean.
Please, that's all I wanted. Even though you have to have Ezra Miller in it, which he apparently has problems too.
I adore Ezra Miller just as a human.
I used to. Until he explains what the hell happened in wherever he was.
Iceland.
Was it Iceland?
I believe it was
I
Iceland.
missed the explanation in Iceland. My bad.
I also didn't get an explanation
maybe it's the
for
there
that.
to choke women. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
because he choked the woman out.
Oh.
Like on tape.
I mean,
I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk.
Untouched.
Yeah,
we'll leave that. We'll leave that alone.
But I just I don't know. And as much as Patty Jenkins talked about how Justice League disserviced Wonder Woman, you know what Justice League gave me that the child in me loved? They gave me Batman and Wonder Woman. They were a couple for 5 minutes, and I was so about it. I was like, whenever I saw on the soundtrack that they had a Bruce and Diane, I was like, oh my god, yes, it's happening. This is not a drill. It's
huge Justice League
God.
cartoon fan.
Yes,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Made my day
All
when
right.
I saw that soundtrack reveal, and I was like, oh my god, they're gonna. And then even that was literally for like 3 minutes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
worth it.
Who knows? Maybe in the fucking whatever world. I don't know.
Zack Snyder Cup. We'll see.
What if it's Gal Gadot and let's just say Robert Pattinson just replaces him in the Flashpoint?
No.
I'll be into it.
No.
I want it to be.
No.
Give it to me.
No.
Fix the universe.
That's
Listen,
a story for another time, Mario.
I'm just saying, I can go all about how much. I watch it. By the way, if you want something better, just to say this, if you want to watch something better that's DC related, check out Stargirl. Stargirl is actually a lot of fun, and since a lot of people now have HBO Max because you were forced to get it to watch this movie.
I don't know about
highly
forced.
recommend
You
it.
can go to the movies to go see this, okay?
And why would you do that unless you're in another country that has better laws?
I mean, I still go to the movies.
No.
I keep my mask.
Now.
Yeah.
I thought you went to the
Oh,
movie
okay.
just to see
Alright.
Tenet.
I did. That was the first time I went back. I kept my
Listen,
mask
if you
on the
wanna
whole
watch
time,
movies while
guys. Kept my mask on the whole time. All right.
That's fine. That's fine. If I'm not going to kink shame you for wearing a mask during a movie, it's totally fine.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But watch Stargirl. Stargirl's fantastic. And there's a lot of DC lore in there as well.
Yes.
Noted.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
Closing arguments. Do you have any closing arguments, Ryan? What do you got for me?
Do I have for you? There's one thing I want to talk about, and that's the end credit scene.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah, let's
not
talk about
discussed
it.
the end credit scene.
I thought it was fine.
So-
I liked it.
I hated it.
You're all monsters. You know,
It
like,
was
Pandering,
fun.
yes, but did I soak it up?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It had
Exactly.
the opposite.
It's
Yeah, same.
I ate it up. I was like, yes. And that was another thing that, like, I know we don't have really time, but there was the whole plot point of Asteria. They threw in there too. And it's and the golden armor and all of this. And it's just, it was, God, everything was just so thrown into a blender. But then you threw the blender out into like a hurricane. Like, that's what was going to shake it up. And I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we really like the Kingdom Come armor from the comic book. Let's somehow get this in. So let's just tell the story.
Yeah.
And then we'll pay it off, I guess, in the end credits with Wonder Woman from Linda Carter.
Yeah.
And listen, a part of me absolutely died. I was like, oh, that's so genius. Because with all the
I
DC
squealed.
show... one of my favorite things that DC has ever done has been that Crisis on Infinite Earths, where all the universes are all connected. The fact that in this universe, Linda Carter is an Amazonian, I'm like, I'm all about it. That's cool. But yeah, as a grand whole for the rest of the movie, I get you.
Okay.
And where do you think this is going to take the next Wonder Woman movie?
Who
Do you think
knows?
she's going to have more of a
You got to go to the 90s.
I don't know. She was eye banging the guy that Steve was taking over at the end there. So maybe it'll just be another grand romantic plot about how she's gonna get this guy.
It doesn't matter.
Hey,
She'll just
remember
see
when I used
Steve.
your body for
Guy
sex?
I'm
God,
sorry.
that-
I almost turned it off again because I literally, like, Eric and I both literally thought that they were gonna suddenly be like, hey, do you want to go get coffee? Yeah, that sounds great. And, like, you just see them go off together and you're like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah, I'm
happy they
really
didn't.
glad they didn't like hang around and
Yeah.
hang out with each other.
He's like, all right,
But as
bye.
far as with but as far as with Linda Carter being there, I was talking to Carlos, my partner, and we were down for the idea of Asteria, like as Linda Carter coming in and being like kind of a mentor to Wonder Woman, because she does kind of have this lonely existence since World War I. She's been, because of her long life, and we saw in the opening, we're seeing all the pictures of her life. She's stuck with everybody that she fought with. We see like a picture of her with Etta Candy as an old lady, and we know she's gone now. And it's just the nature of being an Amazonian demigod in the world means she's going to have an unnaturally long life. And the only person who can really relate to her here is Linda Carter, is Asteria's character. So I would be open to seeing them have this kind of mentorship there, and then, I don't know, having some, butchering some other villain.
I want to add to that, and I think that since they keep teasing these gods, I don't think why we shouldn't just focus on them. Again, we're probably gonna have to bring Cheetah in this because I think they're gonna probably bring her along with it. But there's a great series. So the New 52 happened, and then there was that whole run with the New God stuff that was really cool.
Yeah.
I want if I had to do the plot, it would be much like I want to connect with yours, where Hysteria comes in and maybe leads Diana back to Themyscira, because so far she's never gone back.
Nope.
And I actually would like that story to connect in some way, and maybe it has to do with some of the idea that she's becoming because she killed the god of war, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was no
Yeah, and it
there was no
destroyed her
ramification.
sword.
Yeah, and there was no ramifications for that whatsoever. And I'm very curious if there was like a power struggle that happened, and how she has to fill in that void. There is in the comic book, she becomes the God of War at some point. I wouldn't mind if that's even though she's all about this truth and hope thing. I'm very much how that conflict can help with her. Like, there's some aspects that I wish that they could, if they were like, let's not set things in 1984 just because of reasons. If they actually focused on the character, I think it would be so far more interesting. And if she took on a pantheon of gods, she could literally be the God of War character, but set in a different way. And the fact that did they reveal in this movie her real origin? Or her supposed origin. Is she made from clay? This movie, I don't remember. No, they reveal that she's Zeus's.
Yeah, she's made from. Yes.
From in the first one.
Yeah,
they did, right? Okay,
I believe so.
And how that
I
could
don't know.
play
I'm
against...
mixing up all of my Wonder Woman.
No, yes, that's correct.
I got like there's the Azarello run that has her be the daughter of Zeus and not actually made out of clay and all that.
Yes.
But if they did something like that, where it's sort of like she has to deal with the siblings, something to do with her family. I just think to me, it just makes more interesting story than what's two things? World War I and 1984, and then World War III. No,
2020. Let's see how she does with the pandemic.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman 2020.
Turns in her lasso.
Yeah.
God.
She's like, it's time to put this away. And she grabs a mask and just puts it on. And that's the end of the movie, guys.
If it has the W's all over it. I mean,
yeah.
God, what if she became like a marketing icon and everyone's like, she's just like, I don't want any of it.
You see her on the Revlon posters. Just wear a mask.
She pulls out that mug.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. Well, but that's sort of the idea that I wish they would go in the direction of. But who knows?
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Ryan, any more closing arguments?
No.
Okay.
I've said everything that needs to be said about this movie.
Okay. All right. Holland, any closing arguments?
I think it's worth one watch. I can't really give you any good reasons as to why, other than that it's a Wonder Woman movie. So why not? And we all have time right now. But I mean, I wouldn't say go in with any high hopes about it being a really cohesive story or anything that's really, any kind of good or effective commentary, because it's supposed to be about truth and love, and it's just that does not come across. All you see is all this racism, and then this guy is like, oh, my son, and that's what saves the world. And it's just, I don't know. But it's a Wonder Woman movie, and she uses the hell out of that lasso. So, I mean.
She does a lot.
It's really cool.
It's great. I love that part.
She rides the lightning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Also,
that catching the bullet.
I was really let down by the lightning scene. They amped it up so hard in the trailers, and it was
oh my god,
2 seconds, and I'm like, what is this?
They shouldn't have shown it in the trailer. I feel like it would have been better.
I'm just like, oh wow, okay, it's happening. Okay, cool, this is gonna be great. And literally, like, I got the words "this is gonna be great" through in my mind, and it was over. And I'm like, that was it. Okay.
Yeah, that hurt.
It's one of those situations where the trailer was definitely better than the film.
1000%. Give me Blue.
Yeah.
Give me a nice, wonderful version of Blue Monday mixed in with the Wonder Woman theme, and I'm into it. Other than that,
how are you gonna mix that into the Wonder Woman theme?
they did in the trailer. They mixed together.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. So you're telling me they used an 80s song in the trailer, but not in the movie?
Yeah, they used the 80s song in the trailer, but not in the movie.
Yeah, Blue Monday. From New Order. That's why I got excited for the movie. I'm like,
okay,
cool.
all right. I can see why people are upset. Okay, I can see why people are upset. I've changed my opinion.
This movie didn't have to be in the 80s. That's the problem with the movie.
It didn't.
Other than
she never really looked like she was in the 80s.
No, she totally looked
at all.
Like, I think the only thing they did was they occasionally put shoulder pads in her outfit, but that's about it. Like,
she rocked them shoulder pads.
Yeah, just.
Yeah.
And like, I know how you were saying with like, it's like the decade of decadence. It's when humans have always been and always will be greedy sons of bitches, and that's just the end of it. Like, that literally, like, I don't know. that doesn't need to be reflected in a specific decade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think you made an amazing point with it, and I can see how they might have been going for that. But like, also, I don't think that message would have been lost on me in any other setting.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, 100% agree.
It's not like people have stopped looking for oil now like
Right.
crazy. And that was kind of what they were like putting it all on is, oh, he's a big oil tycoon. And
Yeah.
that's what's supposed to be showing the greed, but it's not like that has stopped.
No.
Yeah.
It easily could have been took place after Justice League. Like it did not matter.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It could have taken place after Justice League. But
Yeah.
we can't do that because Snyder hasn't come out yet. So that Justice League movie doesn't exist. All right.
You know what's so sad is that I fucking fundamentally hate that movie. I hate Man of Steel. I hate this. I'm gonna watch all 5 hours of that stupid train wreck,
4.
and I can't believe. Is it only 4?
It's only 4. Sorry.
Fine, I'll watch 4, and I'll watch an extra hour of it just because.
Okay.
I hate myself.
All right.
Because I just wanna
wanna
see-
know why you hate Man of Steel.
Man of Steel is
Man
a
of Steel-
horrible movie.
It's not horrible.
It's
not
a
horrible.
really bad. Okay. The thing about.
Hold on.
Go
yeah,
ahead.
she asked me. She
I'm
asked
sorry.
me.
I'm sorry.
All
I'm
right?
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
I apologize.
It's not a horrible movie. It's just that when I think of Superman, I fundamentally think that it misrepresents everything about the character, especially growing up. Like all the actual Jor-El stuff, I actually really, really like. It's the Paul Kent stuff that I think is just fundamentally broken and does not add up to the character you get later in the film. He is not a symbol of hope that I feel that he is, in the same way that I feel like this doesn't accomplish anything for Wonder Woman. In terms of like what he ends up having to do, which was kill his own kind, I personally thought that they could have done so much with that if that was something that was meaningful to the character, but it's totally lost on the character. He shouldn't feel the way that he does at the end of the movie, so it feels unearned. That's my rant for that movie.
He's a symbol of depression, is what he is.
Why am I in my 30s?
Maybe that's why I love it so much then. Symbol of depression.
I mean,
And
like he
philosophy.
literally is boo-hoo throughout the whole movie. And I just feel like Superman is a ray of sunshine. He should not be a ray of depression.
I mean, he lets his father die.
That
it's
too.
so-
Like
yeah,
you
that scene is so bad and so dumb, and it drives me nuts. I don't know, have you seen the original Richard Donner film, the
I have not.
1977
no.
version? Oh, watch it. It's everything that is to me the epitome of Superman. This person of hope and the
Just not a
everything.
Superman
Just-
fan.
Well, then fuck you.
I'm more of a Batman fan. It's okay. It's all right.
That's fine, but definitely check out Donner if it's on any reason to watch DC stuff and it's on HBO Max. Don't watch this. Watch something better.
Titans.
Doom Patrol.
Titans
No,
is
no,
really good. Titans gets really good at the end of at the beginning of season 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm on right now.
Harley Quinn's really great.
Harley Quinn is awesome.
That's a great show. That is an amazing
I
show.
love Harley Quinn.
Harley
It's so
Quinn's
good.
great.
Everyone should
Uh,
watch.
Doom
that
Patrol is a
show.
lot of fun. Doom Patrol is a lot of fun. I like Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
You should
And
watch that.
that's all I've seen so far. The
And
extra
Stargirl.
stuff. Stargirl, of course. I think I've just finished season 1. I had such a good time of modern and 50s nostalgia. It was a lot of fun.
It's really weird seeing Luke Wilson on TV.
Dude, Luke Wilson is in a DC property and then Owen Wilson's on a Marvel show. That is bizarre.
Oh, it just irritates me. Just put them on the same show. Like, it drives me nuts. I want to see them interact with each other on screen. That's
So,
that's all I
I
have
have
to
a
say.
confession to make. As much
Sure.
as I love Luke Wilson, I typically cannot stand Owen Wilson. Don't know what it is
Wow.
about it. Yeah, I just
That's fine.
it's bizarre. I don't know.
That's all
I don't
right.
know what it is.
I only
I
It
don't
is
know.
a-
If
I
it's
enjoy-
because he's
it's-
appeared
it's
in
the
it,
nose.
he-
It's the nose.
No, it's like literally like even their films compared to each other. I don't know.
I could see that.
typically Just like Owen Wilson, but I love Luke Wilson.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
it when they
okay.
work together in movies like Bottle Rocket, or I liked the movie they worked together with Wes Anderson.
Wait, they've been on
Pretty
the same screen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I got to get
Bottle
those. Okay. I got to watch that.
What was the Anderson movie were they in together?
Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh, that's right.
I got to watch
Yeah,
both of
remember
those.
They're fantastic films.
Okay.
I gotta talk about movies more often. I talk about video games way too much.
Listen, you are welcome back on this podcast anytime. You know, well, just shoot me a message. Let me know.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Holland. Did you finish your closing arguments?
Yeah, that was it. Just,
Okay.
I mean,
All right, just
yeah,
checking.
I think we kind of covered everything.
Tessa.
There are other things that I could go on, but I think we're good.
Okay.
We got
Back
the point
to it.
across.
Okay. Tessa, any closing arguments?
I feel like there was hesitation in stating that, but
No.
No, I want another long list, please. More.
no, I'm not gonna do another long list. I'm sorry I took up so much time with my list.
No, it's
but,
okay.
No, that's what we needed.
Yeah.
The list.
I they need to do better. I know that's a weak thing to say, but I'm so tired of these fantastic, amazingly done superhero films with male leads, and they just can't seem to get a women-led one correct. It is terrible, and I'm tired of it, and they just need to do better. Literally, just do better. I'm having high hopes for Black Widow, but also I'm a little hesitant to trust that high hope because I had high hopes for this film and look where that led me. But yeah, like I'm so tired of the disservice done to not just women-led superhero films, but just women-led films in general. There's very few and far out there that are just, these critically acclaimed, amazing pieces of work. But yeah, just do better. Life is
Okay.
not that difficult.
I'll send that tweet out to DC.
Do better.
Yeah,
It's
just do
funny
that.
that the Harley Quinn show is more empowering as a cartoon and as about villains than any of the Wonder Woman movies that we've gotten. It's way more about the female empowerment and the sisterhood, and that's what kind of Wonder Woman's supposed to be about. And
Yeah.
you get that more from that show.
I
wanna
honestly
ask,
think that's why I enjoyed Birds of Prey so much.
I was going to bring that up. I
Yeah.
actually didn't hear anything about Birds of Prey here. I love Birds of Prey. I own it on 4K
loved
Blu-ray.
that.
I liked Birds of Prey,
Me
but
too.
I
It's
think
one of
Harley
my
Quinn did it
favorites.
better.
Birds
Harley
of Prey
Quinn show?
was.
Yeah, Harley Quinn show did it way better than
Well, I was
Birds of
just
Prey.
saying Birds of Prey because it was another live action film.
Well, no, but I'm
And
saying like the storyline is kind of similar in Birds of Prey and Harley Quinn. The storyline is kind of similar,
Yeah.
but I think Harley Quinn as a cartoon did the storyline a better service than the movie Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey is my favorite movie.
I think
of
that
the
could be
year.
attributed. Oh yeah.
Yeah, if I didn't watch Invisible Man, then yeah, Birds of Prey probably would have been my favorite.
Oh, I mean, Invisible Man was okay. It was just like really weird. But
So you like the
It's
Gaslight
supposed
Woman,
to
huh?
be.
no, it was a really good movie. It was just really weird. Like
I'm just
the,
gaslighting you.
okay, all right, all right. I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure. Mario, closing arguments.
There's a lot of great stuff in here that I felt that is too and far in between. When it comes to the opening of the film, when it comes to even, I would say, the message at the very end, I think everything in the middle is just completely muddled and not earned in any way that leads you to the finale of this film. And for it to be 2.5 hours long, I felt that there was a lot that they could have reducted, and really had a solid focus. Instead, we are led on a journey that doesn't feel like a journey film, even though we travel across the world. Really, ultimately, I feel like
Feels
this
like
could have
trudging.
yeah. I'm just
Sorry.
like, all right. No, I agree with you. Again, I don't think the setting fits, and it needs to be in this world. The movie doesn't need the setting. I think the setting could be happening anywhere. I don't even think the movie needs the first few minutes as much as I love the first few minutes. Again, there's a lot. I think that this someone brought up that this feels like a first draft of a movie, and I fundamentally feel that. Like
Yeah.
line delivery in terms of things that people are even saying, to decisions made, and how lazy you could do certain things. Like, with all the stuff connected to the racism stuff, the stuff that's connected to the very problematic body swap scenario, which again we didn't really fully dive into, but I don't think we should because it's really dark. All the way up to potentially the personal politics of the actors and the things portrayed in the movie that we really even talked about either. There's just a lot of things that I felt like a lot more thought and care, and we probably would have got a better film, especially when it comes to people's favorite things of Cheetah. The Cheetah I do feel is underutilized in a lot of ways. I think that Kristen Wiig does a great job, and for people that were like hesitant, I think that for what she was given, she fits the role fine. And I think that Pedro Pascal, I enjoy him for this version of Maxwell Lord as much as it's not the character. My favorite little Easter egg in the movie, even though it ultimately doesn't make sense, but apparently does the satellite stuff.
Yeah,
where it can like touch the world. His whole character in the comic book is very much this thing called Brother Eye, which connects to giant satellites in the sky. So I was very much like, all right, cool. I see what you're doing there. But other than that, it's stupid. But yeah, stuff like that. I just wish that was much more refined. And we probably should have deserved a better movie. DC was having such an uptick after, I would say, after Justice League with Aquaman, with
Shazam.
And now we're back. We're heading this way, and now the next movie that in the foreseeable future is potentially Justice League, and I don't see that uptick going back up.
Are you crazy? I see it skyrocketing. All right,
We'll see.
Skyrocketing.
4 hours.
4 hours, guys. I'm so excited.
I'm watching it because they said there's a miniseries version. I probably will watch that version.
Yeah. I'll be watching it each 1 hour long episode a week.
Dissecting one episode.
Yeah. Each week when they release a new episode. And then I'm going to watch it all in one shot. And then I believe he said he's also doing a black and white version. I'm just going to watch that over.
Oh, God.
And it's going to be
He
great.
did enough with Watchmen. You remember Watchmen had like 3 cuts of it?
I did. I
God.
remember it. It was really good. My closing argument for this movie is if I learned one thing, it's we should probably bring back parachute pants. Those look pretty cool. All right.
I love that was the lesson.
That's
Yeah,
the one
you know
thing,
what?
guys.
I
Does
think
everybody
we're like actual
parachute?
Parachutes.
Yeah.
What if that's how we just start building inclines so that way we jump off of them? And parachute?
Exactly. There we go.
Every level's like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
I'm into it.
Yeah. I kind of did start looking up parachute pants, but that's neither here nor there. Let's do some plugs, guys. We're running a little over, but that's okay. Let's do some plugs. Ryan, where can people find you?
They can find me above. It looks like you put that there this time at Ryan the Lion 3055 on Twitter.
Okay. Sorry, Tessa, I have to tell you this, but your husband wants me to tell you that Cheetah was the best.
Okay.
All right. So you deal with that. You deal with that. Holland, where can people find you?
I am Grizzly Expressions on Instagram, Holland Mahoney Jr. on Twitter.
Okay. Cool. Tessa, where can people find you?
Twitter, smash_bro, BREAUX.
I gotta fix that. All right. Sorry. I thought I had it right. I gotta fix that. Okay. I'll put it right in the in the description below. Mario, where can people find you?
You can find me at DualShockers, youtube.com/DualShockers, where you'll see a lot of my work. On Twitter at that Mario Rivera, where I do majority of my musings. Whenever I decide to do random emo pop TikToks in the middle of the night, those are fun. And that's primarily where you'll find me.
Okay. You could find me here next in about 15 minutes. We're going to discuss Attack on Titan episode 3 of the final season. It's going to be really great. I'm very excited for that. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Eric, you're just wrong. Man of Steel is not the best movie.
Thanks
You're
for
just
having
wrong.
me.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, Holland. Anytime. You're welcome back anytime. Mario, that goes back to you as well. We'll have to talk about what movies you want to talk about just to...
I
Sure.
normally don't rant like this, just so we're clear.
Okay. That's, again, Tessa, don't worry about it. That's exactly what we needed. All right? Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.